Battered and mostly triumphant, you all make the 8-hour trek to Phandalin from Cragmaw Castle. Thoughts of what now? A map with a destination with no real knowledge of what lies there. The Black Spider, seemingly aware of your meddling in their affairs and what they may do in retaliation. There's no certainty in what lies in the future ahead, nor if even you have reason to remain as a group now that your employer is no more. But you have survived and have found yourself more wealthy than you were a week ago, so it can't be all bad. Before you know it, thinking these things and just putting one foot in front of the other, you're shocked when you meet up with the road to Phandalin, signing the end of your journey. Arriving back in town, you discuss amongst one another what next, and Orsis has suggested that we take a day to tend wounds, purchase provisions and armaments, see to what you need to see to on a personal level, and meet back to discuss our next steps, if we feel there should be any. The group all agree to meet back in 24 hours at the end to discuss these matters. What would you like to do?
Alright, so first off...
for you real quick.
Yeah. I'm fixing my spells real quick. First of all, we're going to...
That's where you are currently.
Alright, I need to know the reactions of the townspeople as I'm fucking hauling in a fucking hobgoblin leader naked, chained to a fucking banner on my back.
Okay, roll me a perception check. Okay. So basically, you notice coming into town that there aren't as many town folk on the street as there usually are at this time of day. Like this time of day, we're like early afternoon.
Okay.
You do notice you see a lot more red brands than usual as well.
Interesting. Okay. Let me go ahead and preface that I'm going to be using guidance quite a bit because I'm going to be making a lot of skill checks.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
Since it's a cantrip, it should be pretty free. Let me finish up with my spells real quick. Okay, so let's see where there's a town master's hall. So town square is like right here, right? Oh, the town green.
Yeah, that's where you want to put the.
That's
hobgoblin?
where I'm putting the hobgoblin. Yep. I'm gonna use mold earth. I'm gonna find some like spot there, and I'm gonna use mold earth several times to like dig away a spot for a pole.
Okay.
Or you know what? In fact, I'll
I think you only have to use it once, honestly.
Okay, that should be good then. I just want to make sure that he is secured and can't be moved.
Got you. Yeah, I think one. I mean, isn't it 10 feet of earth?
It's five.
Okay, so
it's like
and that's more than enough.
Yeah, it's a 5-foot cube of earth.
Which you're just gonna like chop down a tree to put in the ground? Okay.
Yeah.
That works. Yeah, you do gather a little bit of attention while you're doing this, obviously.
I'm gonna rend the tree with my bare hands instead of using tools.
Okay. Yeah, you you're gathering a crowd of people watching you. I think it's just interesting. You have a dead dwarf on a sled, and you have this hobgoblin at the top of a pole tied very securely.
Yeah, and that's fine.
They got a group of kids that shit follow you over the green, and as they're watching you like go to the the woods right there past the green, just blow a tree out of the ground with your bare hands, just pick it up, carry it back to the middle of the green. Start molding the earth. There's a few bigger crowd gathers, maybe like a dozen people there now.
Do I see any like little wildflowers and stuff like that?
Oh yeah. There's like white and yellow flowers here and there, all over the green.
Okay, I'm gonna mage hand with my trunk to pick up the flowers while I'm moving the tree around, to give the flowers to the kids, to like the little girl kids or whatever.
Okay. All right.
And start like currying favor and like doing little tricks for them.
Yeah, sure. They're super bemused by your ethereal tusk floating around.
Sweet.
Start playing with it, and your little halfling boy is able to pick up in the air and do a little flip with them. They're super entertained by it.
Perfect. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is once I get him planted in the green, I'm gonna look for a nicer clearing and ask. I'm gonna approach all the children and be like, "Come, children, we have a fallen ally. Bring the flowers." And I'm gonna have them follow me for Gundren's sled or whatever, and then lay it down And as the kids put down the flowers around his body, like again, I want to make sure it's like kind of the nicest little bit of a clearing away from the
Right,
hobgoblin, but still
right,
in the
right,
town green.
right.
And
Gotcha.
I'm gonna cast ceremony on his
Okay.
corpse as funeral rites.
Okay.
So for the next 7 days, he can't become an undead by any means short of a wish spell, but it should be like a full on like ordeal of me casting this because it's a ritual, so I have to take 10 minutes to do this.
Okay. All right.
I'll go and use my spell slot for that.
So, yeah, you're doing this, concentrating over Gundren's body. You're being very ceremonial about it, not to be too on point, but just very what's the word I'm looking for?
Sanctimonious.
That's what I was thinking, but I wasn't sure that was the right word. But yeah, you're making it very much a. You're treating it with high respect, and this is very, you know, a serious matter.
Yep. I want to take note. Are any of the other party members like? Have they just all wandered off to do their thing?
Roll me another perception check with guidance. I guess you don't really have to. You would actively be paying attention to that.
Yeah, because I don't have to blink, right? So it's like I can just look around.
So you noticed that. Let me think about this for a second. Fenris, I believe, headed to the inn. Cletus went to the Lion Shield Coster. Meriden also went to the inn, I believe. Or the Townmaster's Hall, I can't remember. They're all in buildings. In the opposite side of the town square from the green.
Okay, so they all just went off to do their thing, right? So they're all in buildings.
They're all in buildings right now. Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna ask the children once the ritual's completed and everything. I want to make note of how many red brands are like. I'm assuming I'm now gained attention of them.
Oh yeah, you've also noticed that there's, to your knowledge, at least 3 red brands that are staying very, very far away, but are definitely watching you.
Okay. How many what adults are around? Because I assume there's like people now watching, right?
Yeah, there's like 6 kids, 6 adults, and then the 3 red brands, basically.
Okay, are there any adults of like leadership there? Like I would recognize like a town master or a mayor or like a head blacksmith or anything?
Thinking. 1 second. Because I actually think there may be.
Okay.
Don't know if you would know that they were that, though.
No, I'll inquire, but I obviously they're either going to look distinguished, or if they're like a head blacksmith, they're going to have a certain style to them.
Got you. Okay, so you do recognize one of the workers from the inns there. Also, there's definitely a miner there. You can tell by the way he looks. And there is a woman of the religious faith in attendance.
Interesting. Okay.
Who I would imagine you would have noticed. Well, I don't know. Yeah, you probably would have noticed. She tends to the shrine in the middle of town.
Okay. Who's the shrine to again?
It's a shrine of luck, I believe. It's to Timora, the goddess of luck and good fortune.
Okay. So nothing of like, okay.
And the woman of religious faith is a young elf.
Oh, if I would have noticed her, I invite her over to the
To do the Gundren thing?
to do the ceremony with me.
And she happily joins you. For sure. And helps get like the flowers in order and stuff, and pray over the body while you perform the ceremony.
Perfect. Okay, Timora, Lady Luck. Yeah.
She also informs her name is Sister Gariel.
I greet her, obviously, jovially, with a hint of somber notes as we are performing funeral rites for our fallen ally, Gundren.
Poor Gundren, he was so ambitious.
He was strong until the end. And then I'll explain to her that we've capped, most are dead, but it was in need to bring back a single leader of this hobgoblin tribe to atone to the townspeople that they've constantly terrorized. And the townspeople will decide the fate of this evildoer. You know, and just converse with her.
Yeah, I got it.
As friendly as possible, right? And now, actually, I'll ask her, be like, is anyone here who can make the decisions so that we can come to a prepared time to have this trial for this creature of evil?
I would talk to the town master.
Okay. I'll go ahead and approach the rest of the town folk that are there and see if she like joins me with them and walking over to speak with them, explain the same situation of, like, you know, Gundren fell during we were attempting, he was our employer and we were attempting to rescue him and he fell. They were using him as a shield to protect their cowardly ways.
You're just talking to the crowd?
Yeah, just talking to the crowd, letting them know the story that these weak, like, vile, faithless creatures.
And they're all very impressed because, like, you know, you've done this ritual over Gundren. You know, his body has this like soft, glowing hue to it. You know, it's barely visible, but you can definitely see that it's magical around him.
Sweet.
And as they walk up to you, they're all taken aback at, like, you know, your stature and the fact that you're never blinking is just I don't know, it's unnerving in a way.
I'll do my best attempt at matching a soft smile as I'm talking.
Okay. All right. Yeah. They're very enthralled by your story. Everybody's hanging on every word.
So then I'll ask that is there a place where, or you know what? No, I'm gonna ask if anyone would like to, can they share stories of the ones that they've possibly lost, or how these vile, faithless creatures, these weaklings of the earth, have affected their lives negatively, and give them kind of an open opportunity to trauma dump.
You're talking about like the hobgoblins?
Yeah, the hobgoblins. I just want to know how much of an. So basically, I'm trying to glean information on how much these hobgoblins have affected the townspeople, so that I can further along my intentions, my goals.
The miner speaks up. He's like, I don't know about affecting the town directly, but as far as like the supply chain, they've been a huge issue. I mean, every business in town's been affected as far as like getting in goods and such. They don't attack the town directly though.
Oh, but if business is affected, then there is no coin that flows.
That is true. It does affect lots of things. If we can't get stuff to do our jobs, it's pretty hard to make coin.
Well, fret not, for we have destroyed a vast majority of their leaders and cleared out the Cragmaw castle of their vile ways.
Really?
Yep, and then I regale them of the tale with the owl bear and catching and us fighting them and our strong compatriots.
Yeah,
surviving death blows.
They're all at this point believe you're a superhero.
Okay. Have more people started to kind of like follow over?
I'd say there's probably like 20 people around.
Okay. All right. So what I'll start doing is, let me see my inventory here. All right. So I'm gonna, as atonement and as to help assist this, can anyone point me in the direction that we may procure some just wicker baskets? I'd like to fill these with stones for the judgment of this vile creature, so
Well,
that everyone may get their justice for how much they've had to suffer and loss through the effect of the supply chain and being able to not feed their families as well as they should have been fed.
so the innkeeper's wife, Trilena, speaks up.
Okay.
You could get baskets at the woodcart workers shop, but he was just literally murdered 2 days ago.
Oh, that's
The
unfortunate.
shop's temporary closed, and she looks around and takes like a few steps closer to you,
Who is she? Oh, okay. Who would do such a vile thing?
and she tells you, "He stood up to the Red Brands. They were
Ah.
they were gawking at his wife, and he stood up to him, and they just murdered him in front of his wife, his kids, all of his patrons."
I look at her. I can't blink, but I touch the tip of my trunk to right on the nose, and I lean in real close and go, ah, I've noticed how weak they are, and that they're not protecting the town but fleecing it.
She nods at you. "My husband hates them. He says they're awful, and I agree." And
Good.
She like takes her place back on the ground.
I take note of Nick. Take note of her, and don't move towards any action at the moment. Go, well. What was the priest's name? The priestess?
Sister Gariel?
Sister Gariel. Have you performed the ceremony for the fallen town folk?
Yes, sir. Um,
I,
they're burying him tomorrow morning.
excellent. Then there is no need for me to join in. Um, very well. Then what we can do is, and I ask the children and point out say, if you can, children, go find stones and come and make little piles, and I each give them a silver piece to do this task.
Oh,
And
yeah.
to line them up around the goblin.
Silver piece. They're more than happy to do that.
Yep. And then I approach each townfolk that's there, and I thank them for sharing their stories with me and listening to the tale that I've told and witnessing what's being done here, and hope that they feel relief that one, and I make a point to emphasize that one of our common enemies has now been eliminated, and then I give them each an electrum piece.
Oh, you get like immediate get hoops and hollers and cheers and thank you so much. You've made the town safer.
Well, hopefully there will be more order in the town. And then I explain that the possibility of eradicating the orc menace is also a task that will be fulfilled.
Yeah, they're blown away. I'm like, why these guys like kill all these goblins and hobgoblins, and now they're gonna go take care of the orcs too? Yeah, everybody's very, very impressed.
Okay. The next, I guess I will walk with the townsfolk. I'll ask them to walk with me as we go to the townmaster's hall, so that we may speak with him on the trial of the hobgoblin.
As you are headed that direction, you see Sildar walk out with Fenris. It was Fenris.
Okay.
And they're talking, and I think Fenris headed towards the inn, and Sildar catches eye of your procession.
Okay. As we're walking through the town, the townsfolk that are coming up, if there's any more townsfolk that are coming up to talk or to like just see what's going on, I just hand out silver pieces.
Okay. Well, Sildar definitely approaches you, and he's like, Brijoul, it's good to see you again. Fenris let me know that you may be in possession of Gundren's body.
Yes, we've just set up. I've just performed, or Sister
Gariel.
Gariel, Sister Gariel, and I have performed the ceremony spell to protect where he lay rest in the town green, and the children have provided wonderful flowers for such an honorable and distinguished merchant that fell to these horrible monsters. And in fact, we took one of their leaders and I have placed him to face judgment in the town green, and I hope to discuss the trial that we shall hold and let the townsfolk get their own justice on these faithless and lawless monstrosities.
That, yes, absolutely. That's wonderful, and actually, I can help you make that happen.
That is excellent. And then I hand him 2 gold pieces.
Yes, let me get with the town master, and we will arrange for that to be done first thing in the morning. We'll get a couple red brands to keep an eye on that.
Red brands, you say? There's no need. The red brands, there's no need. He's perfectly well maintained. In fact, I plan to overlook him through the night myself. I plan to sit with any townsfolk that wish, have a grand fire, and provide food and drink so that we can all express our opinions of what should be done with the town.
Okay. Yeah,
how
sure.
can we maintain our strength and protect our own? How can we strive to overcome these great monstrosities that plague this land?
Yeah, fair. I mean, yeah, I totally agree with you. They're wretched. Nothing but
Indeed.
No better than a rodent. Yeah, for sure. If you think you want to make something happen tonight, I might be able to hurry things along. I'll talk to the town master and see what we can make happen.
Excellent. Excellent.
You know what? Actually, roll a perception check for me.
Sure. With guidance.
Yep.
Let's see here. I can't target myself, so I'm just gonna roll the guidance separately.
You can. Oh yeah, you're right. You can't recall. Yeah, good call.
9 plus a d4.
That's good.
Oh, 11.
10 would have done it. You notice that. Wait, do you notice that?
Ooh.
Yeah, you would. At least the sword. You notice that the sword he has sheathed at his side is the same sword that Fenris has had tied to his pack the last couple days.
Interesting. I don't say anything but take note.
All right. And then he's gonna tell you that I'm gonna pay my respects to Gundren. You said at the town green?
Indeed.
And
I actually asked Sister, I can't remember her name
Gariel.
again. Gariel. I keep wanting to say Galadriel, but Gariel. I asked Sister Gariel to please escort Sildar to where we've performed the ceremony.
I'll put it in chat for you.
And ensure that okay, yeah, perfect. Ensure that the children have not played anymore around our fallen comrade.
Wonderful, wonderful. Glad you managed to get with Sister Gariel on this. She's great.
I hand her 5 silver pieces as a donation to her church.
Okay. She's overjoyed. Thank you so much. This will help with maintain the shrine. And Sildar is gonna bid you adieu. Thank you once again for being so amazing. And he's gonna head towards the town green where Gundren is.
Okay. I'm gonna begin conversing again with like the townsfolk and kind of walking around, like taking a little jaunt to see, because there's like these are like merchant shops and stuff, right? Like around this square.
Okay, let's see what you see. Give me 1 second here.
Sure.
So this house here is Sister Gariel's home. That's where she lives.
Okay. And this is the shrine, right?
Yep, that's the shrine. Shrine of Luck
Okay.
right here. This is a smithy.
Okay.
Pretty much just repair things, though. He doesn't really sell anything. There's an orchard here
Okay.
where you like punted a tree down.
Yep.
Woodworkers labeled. The other small houses in the area are just homes, like private homes for random people.
Okay. Are there like this is a pretty small town, so there's probably not like food carts and stuff like that just kind of placed around randomly?
No, everybody pretty much if they're eating out and stuff, they eat at the inn, or I think it's just the inn.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, yeah, it was. Used to be the Sleeping Giant was a pretty big contender to the inn, but the Sleeping Giant is now a private club for the Red Brands, which they scouted out for y'all, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Yeah. That was in. It was during something. I remember
First
hearing
time
about
y'all
it.
were in town, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah. Where he was like following.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so my whole goal here now is I'm going to continue conversing with whatever townsfolk that still want to talk, right? No, and I don't try to like keep them entertained if they want to go, if they're like wandering off or like, oh, I need to go do something. It's like, oh, I thank them for their time and listening, and but I want to actually move to the orchard to maintain my visual on Sildar going to see Gundren's body. So I want to go pay for the tree that I ripped up to the orchard, but I'm only going to get to about here and ask one of the children to go get the master of the orchard so that I can maintain my visual, maintain my line of sight of Sildar and the sister going to see Gundren's body.
Okay. All right. Who owns the orchard? Darren Edermath owns the orchard. He's a older gentleman. He's it's a pretty respectable sized house. It's a pretty tiny orchard. It's not huge. He's very thankful for you paying for the tree. He did see you do it.
Yeah, if he would have made like a it's not, I would have been ignoring him for a second while I was like deep diving into fucking making sure this hobgoblin didn't run off. Okay, cool. How much? I figure I'll give him an electrum piece or so. It's just a tree.
That's quite generous of you. Thank you very much.
And yeah, now I just want to really maintain. Again, I'll converse with him a bit, ask him what does he grow in the orchard. But this is all more or less like empty conversation that I want to maintain so that I can continually watch what's going on at Gundren's body.
Gotcha. Yeah, he tells you it's an apple orchard, and he tells you a story of how he used to be a fighter. Oh wow. Yeah, he tells you a really long story. He's over 100 years old.
Jesus Christ. What is it? He's human?
No. I don't know. No, he's an elf. He's an
Okay,
old
yeah,
elf.
that's fine.
And he's,
Well, I mean,
I'm sorry. It's because it was the first word of the sentence and it's so small, I skipped right over it.
no, it's all. I mean, if he's only 100 years old, I'm older than him.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's like, it's not that old for an elf.
And I try to regale it, like I try to like match him.
Yeah, he tells you about a story about how he was a marshal and herald for many years in the lands of the Dragon Coast, far to the southeast. And upon retiring, he returned to the Neverwinter region, where he's originally from, basically.
Oh, excellent! I tell him about Ravnica, the city of guilds.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's now he's retired and just tends mostly to himself and his orchard, his apple orchard. He's enthralled to hear of your tale of a different place with all this crazy different things from here.
I go ahead and purchase a bushel of apples and mage hand them out to the children one by one.
Okay.
As he and I are discussing.
Just floating back to the town green. Because the children are definitely still just like very enthralled by this, like those collecting stones. Now they're like interested in this hobgoblin, just trying to, getting a little bit closer so they get a better, closer look, but like scared to get closer type thing.
Expressly say, because he should be pretty. I want to make sure he is very well chained up, and I'll go and check the chains. Okay. As he and I converse, I'll slowly like kind of move, and if he maintains pace, I'll stop if he stops, etc. But I'll go ahead and ensure the change and show the children to make sure that he is well not going to go anywhere. And then I offer whoever can strike the goblin will get a copper piece, and then with the rocks.
Okay.
And then just have them play a little game with it. I'll make sure that the goblin is very like gagged so it cannot respond at all. I assume it's awake by now.
It was unconscious. Well, I didn't actually. It's been awake for a while, actually. Yeah. It was unconscious for 4 hours, but it was an 8-hour walk back to Phandalin. So yeah.
Yeah, but
you have him gagged and everything, right?
Yeah. I had it gagged because I wanted to make sure it didn't say anything. In fact, gagged with a bag over its head. Because I do have a sack. I'll put my sack over its head.
I forgot what I was doing. What did you want the kids to do? You wanted to... Oh,
throw
rocks.
stones.
Throwing rocks, that's right.
The piles of rocks.
So you see the hobgoblin get pelted by like 3 rocks. One hits him square back in the eyes and knocks him back unconscious. Between the eyes.
Oh. I'll applaud the children. Okay, first off, are any of the townsfolk applauding with the children as they laugh and play?
There's only like the miner's still there, and yeah, he's hooting and hollering for sure. He's super entertained.
Excellent.
The innkeeper's wife is still there as well, and she's less entertained, but she's not like definitely not against what's going on.
Okay.
Sister Gariel and Sildar are still at Gundren's body, just saying a prayer over it together.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. The kid that rolled the 20 will get a silver piece. And then the kid that rolled the 1 will get a consolation prize of 1 copper.
Okay.
For trying.
Yeah, it's a little girl. She literally only threw it about 2 feet in front of her.
She tried.
She did try. You're impressed that such a young child is getting at it.
Okay. Then I'll go ahead and go over to the body to say a fast prayer.
Gundren's body?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just
All right.
realistically, I'm just going over because I want to hear the prayer if they're matching.
No, actually, they're praying in silence. Sildar and Sister Geralt do not worship the same people.
Okay. Now, okay, so refresh my memory on Sildar. He's the town master,
No,
or he was
but
the guy that came with us, right?
he's the guy that was
We
accompanying Gundren
yeah,
down here.
we rescued him, right?
Yes, he was looking for. He was coming to Phandalin to look for a wizard friend of his named Ierno.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember that or not. And he's been searching for him, and he also works at the Town Master's Hall. He's like the marshal, I guess. That the best way I could describe it.
Okay.
So like he's basically the guy that talks to the Red Brands for the Town Master, whose name escapes me.
Okay.
Harbin Wester.
Harbin
Because
Wester.
Harbin's terrified of the Red Brands, and Sildar doesn't like tell them what to do or anything. He just, basically how they communicate.
Okay.
He also is, in charge of. He's like the, I guess constable would be a better term than marshal.
Okay. Like a sheriff or something.
Yeah, he's like in charge of somebody breaks the law or whatever. He's the one that's gonna give them a sentence or whatnot. Like the Red Brands don't give a fuck.
I gotcha. Okay.
I mean, they care for the businesses that pay them money, and that's it. Like the regular townsfolk, they don't give a shit what happens to them.
Okay.
I guess it'd be a good time to bring that up, actually. Sildar finishes praying, and it's like, Brijoul, can I have a word?
Indeed.
And then walks away from the body. I wanted to let you know that, you remember I told y'all, I was looking for my friend Ierno Albrecht.
Yes, the wizard. Yes.
I found out that he was investigating or exploring the area around Tressendor Manor, the ruined house on the hill to the east of town.
Okay.
And that's the last time anybody saw him.
Is that this dilapidated house right here? Oh no, east. So that's
on
past the sleeping giant.
Right here.
Ah,
This
okay, it's way over there.
giant ruined manor on the top of the hill. He went to explore around that area, investigate around that area. God, I'm sorry, I lost my place. Yeah, he disappeared while he was exploring the manor. If you want to get your group together and go retrieve his body like you've done for Gundren, I'd be willing to pay y'all again. He's a sharp, dark-bearded human wizard. Approximately in his 30s, I would say.
Interesting. This can be done. I believe it can be done. But I can make no guarantees on the safety of this wizard, of this friend of yours. You are the main liaison with the Red Brands, yes?
Let's be real. I know the Red Brands hang out around there, so I doubt you're gonna find them alive, to be honest. But yeah, I talk. Harbin's kind of a little bit yellow. He won't talk to him, so yeah, I'll talk to him for him.
Interesting. I've noticed my observations of the red brands in this town and conversing with these kind of folk. They seem to run in their own circle that doesn't seem to have much order to it.
I've heard them say, I've only had a few meetings with them. I haven't been doing this very long. I've only been here, a week maybe. Um, but I've heard them say in a meeting before that Glassstaff wouldn't like that. I assume that's who's leading the show. Who that is, I couldn't tell you.
So there is some sort of leader to their band.
Believe so. That's they when that was said, they all kind of looked at each other and changed their minds about what they were wanting to do.
Interesting. So in the time that you've been here, you've conversed with them, but what is your opinions of these red brands? What is your take of it? I'm going to use some insight to see if he's telling the truth.
Okay, yeah, roll me an insight check.
Okay, with guidance.
Yeah,
that's
you
over
feel
20.
like he's being super honest with you.
I appreciate your honesty in this. I can sense that you are an honorable man, a strong person.
Of course, I would not stain the legacy of my family. And he taps the chainmail symbol on his chest. This is a family crest.
Legacies are important.
Indeed.
They develop who we are, and I maintain like my constant piercing eye contact with him.
Yeah, he's a little unnerved for sure. Indeed, I want to thank you guys for getting this stuff back from me. I wouldn't know what to do if I had lost it forever.
Good. We are pleased that we were able to assist you in these and bring back some of the order to this town.
Yes, and you brought back Gundren as well. If you do the same for Yarno, I'd be willing to pay you at least 200 gold.
Sounds excellent. This is most agreeable. Coin is always welcome. We cannot guarantee anything, but we will do the best to our abilities to investigate this further. But might I ask, the red brands, I'm sure that you have expressed concern to them, as they seem to be the ones that are paid for protection here, yes?
Yeah, I mean, they are, but I mean, man, it's basically like calling them a law enforcing party is laughable.
Ha!
Basically, just
yes.
a mob of people. There's just so many of them. What can people do? And if you pay them, they'll, throw people out of your shop and punish people that steal from you or try to harm you. And if you don't pay them, then you basically don't exist to them. That's not a great way for a city to have protection.
To me, they're no different. That seems that they may be no different than common bandits. Just mercenaries, muscle for hire.
I would agree, and I'm fairly certain after being here a week, every business owner and resident of this town would agree with you.
What? Are there red brands still watching us right now? I assume that they've had people at this point constantly watching me.
Yeah, they've had the same 3 guys staying where they think they're out of range of you really being able to notice them, and they're not together. But they've continued to watch you this whole time.
Okay. I'm gonna go around and again approach the. I'll thank Silver for his time. Again, we will do the best. Again, we cannot guarantee anything. Nothing is a guarantee in the lives that we live. But to maintain order and to bring about justice is exactly what I strive in the name of Bane.
When you say Bane, he's taken a little bit aback. Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
Bane is So I noticed this, right? And so I'll express it. I said, Bane is where I grow my strength. You can see that I'm strong. You can see that I maintain power. You can see that I maintain order. That is all that I wish to protect.
And he kind of looks at you from side to side, which, his head makes a very visible move, and he's like, yeah, yeah. I mean, I can't argue that.
But as you can see, we still, as Banenites, we maintain those that are in our protection, those that can be brought up to be strong and hold true values.
Well, yeah, for sure. I mean, like, you keep doing the things you're doing, and you seem like a great, individual to have around, and you've done me no wrong.
I'll give him a hearty clap on the back and wish him a merry day, and that we will converse again before we set out on this investigation, because I feel that there is going to be a difficult time afoot within the next day or so, as we will have our trial of this lawless, disgusting creature on the green, and I feel, as maybe you have noticed, the Red Brands have now taken note of our strength.
He lets out a very loud oof from the slap on the back. He's like, yeah, we'll do that. Man, you are strong.
And I, as I'm saying this about the Red Brands taking note of us, I look for the one that's trying to hide the most and point directly at him.
Okay, all right, and he happens to be the youngest looking one as well. And he immediately turns away from you and pretends like he wasn't looking at you at all. And slowly starts to walk away.
So as I point, so okay, in culmination here, I had an idea. As I'm pointing at him and saying this with my words, I'm going to use thaumaturgy to create small tremors under his feet. The Red Brand's feet, the youngest one trying to hide.
Okay, all right.
They're harmless tremors, but
the second he starts to turn around, he starts to feel the tremors underneath his feet, and he just bolts, and takes off running.
I go back, I return my gaze to Sildor.
And you also notice that the other two have dispersed as well.
At the same time?
Yeah, pretty much as you pointed at that one and cast the spell, they pretty much turned around and left as well.
I'll have a hearty chuckle at this. You can see their weakness. They lack convictions. They lack strength.
You are a bold giant pachyderm.
Indeed. Bane gives me strength. And
anybody, I ain't never seen anything like that. These people, just watch your back, man.
It is a large back, and I don't mind a large target, but I am driven by my strength and Bane. If they want to wish a fight, I hope they wish to have mercy in the ruin that we will deliver.
He's just nodding with you. Yeah. It's yeah, if you're able to take care of them, I'd be highly impressed. And,
so at this point, go ahead.
I usually say that I'm going to go ahead and go see about getting this underway since you want to have it done so quickly. I need to get to Town Master's Hall and speak with Harbin before he heads home for the evening.
Excellent. I actually wish to converse with Harbin as well, so may you do your business first, and then I will proceed behind you. And please, any sort of expense, I gladly will share this with you. Coin is meant to be spread.
Okay. Great. Wonderful. And y'all make y'all's way to the Town Master's Hall.
Yep.
Where
I want to make sure I'm constantly vigilant at this point for the Red Brands. Anyone that they would put on me as a watcher.
Okay. All right. Well, you don't. Well, roll me a perception check.
Okay.
Don't notice anything.
Okay. Once we get to towards the front of the Town Master's Hall, I actually want to put my hand on his shoulder and stop him for one last question.
Okay.
Out of earshot of everyone around.
Okay, that's fine. That's your good spot to do that.
I'm going to lean in real close and ask him about the sword on his hilt.
Oh.
And then I'm gonna use thaumaturgy to change the color of my eyes to as basically as black as I can get them, as if it was like space staring into my eyes, like a bowling ball.
Okay. All right. He's like, this is a sword and this armor has been in my family for generations. We've all served for Neverwinter at a point in our lives, and we've all wore this armor and wielded this sword. And it was taken from me when we were abducted on the road from Neverwinter to here. And I hadn't seen it since, it was ripped off my body and y'all rescued me. I figured I was never going to see it again. But you guys found it. Fenris brought it back to me.
I need an insight on that one to make sure he's telling the truth.
Roll insight. You think he's telling the truth?
No guidance on top of that.
You think more confidently he's telling the truth?
I'll maintain eye contact for like a split second longer, just so it's a little more uncomfortable, and then crack my small smile, and then lean back up and go, "Very good. I'm glad that our rogue companion was able to return. His strength has been slightly questionable as of late, but I'm glad that your heirloom, again, as legacies are important, has been returned to you. I will take note of this and discuss it with Fenris later."
Yeah, I gave him, how much did I give him? 200-300 gold for getting it back for me. I was so happy.
Interesting.
God, I really don't remember how much I gave him. I think it was 300.
Yeah.
It might have been 200.
That's fine. Yeah. I'm not super worried about it, right? Like, I'm just gleaning information at this point.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then I'll open the door for him to the Town Master's Hall.
Okay.
Usher him in.
As you are walking around that corner there, like here,
Sure.
you notice a man nailing a sign to the woodworker shop saying, temporary closed.
That's the basket weaver that was murdered.
Yeah.
That the Town Master's wife told me about.
The innkeeper's wife, but yes.
Or innkeeper's wife.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what does the man look like? Is it a red brand?
No, it's just a normal-looking guy, civilian clothes, nothing distinct about him. He's definitely not a red brand.
Okay. I will ask Sildar as I open the door for him. I'm gonna ask Sildar to please ask the Town Master to wait, as I will return momentarily because I want to go and approach the woodworker's home and have a brief conversation, as I've heard some frightful tales in regards to what has happened.
Yeah, sure. That'll give me a chance to talk to him about the meeting you want to have in the green and get
Yes.
okayed and set up maybe before you get back.
Excellent. Yeah, and then I'll go over to there and try to catch that guy that's putting up the sign to talk to him a bit of, because he must know something if he's putting the sign up. So I want to know who he is.
So you greet him. He's just he's actually, he works for, well, I'll just roll with it. How you doing, sir? How can I help you?
I'm not gonna say. So I've learned, as I was discussing with the townsfolk earlier, that something ill has befallen the woodworker shop, and I wanted to come and lend assistance. And here you are putting a temporary closure sign here, and I want to know what has happened. I would like to know the details.
The man that runs the woodworker shop fell. He was murdered 2 days ago.
Oh,
And
disgusting.
his wife and kids have disappeared, so I've been instructed by the town master to board up the woodworker shop.
A disappearance, you say?
Yeah, his wife and his 2 kids went missing right after. Go figure.
Indeed. Go figure, indeed. Where was he murdered?
In his shop, in front of like 5 patrons and his wife and his 2 kids.
So the culprit is known.
Oh yeah, the Red Brands did it.
Interesting.
But who's gonna hold the law to account? Because they're the law around these parts.
I would not call this law, but
Agreed.
I see that they are trying to impose their weakness as the authority figure here.
Yeah, there are a lot of them. And none of us here are fighters. We're just farmers and miners and woodworkers, and we do trades. We work with our hands. We don't fight things.
You shouldn't downplay one's own strength with enough hate and what's the word I'm looking for? Enough hate and conviction, you can overcome any adversary.
He nods. He feels like he's taking this advice on.
You seem like a strong. How old's this guy? Young man.
Yeah, he's early 20s at best.
You seem like a strong young man. Thank you for taking care of this, and I believe I will be further investigating this as time goes on.
Well, that would be
I
good.
ask him some more complicated details of the Red Brands. Just generic questions of like, how many do you think there are? Does it seem like they have a true leader, or where do they tend to patrol through here? What days? Does it seem like they're picking up their protections? Because I assume they're having like protection money paid every month, or like a tithe.
Yeah, it's every week. But yeah, they come by once a week, collect money from everybody. They, depends on what kind of mood they're in, and what they'll break in your store, or like what happened to Thel, where they started leering and making pass it at his wife, and he stands up to him and gets stabbed in the gut.
Mm.
They've been a lot more active as of late. They're definitely up to something. I would have told you before a couple days ago, maybe there was only 30 of them, but now I think there might be 50, 60, maybe 100 of them. I don't know. I keep seeing new faces.
Interesting. Are they coming in off the Tribor Trail?
No, they hang out a lot at the Sleeping Giant. And you always see them leaving there, going east. So I don't know, man. The only thing that way is a giant ruined house and some woods. So I'm thinking that they're probably renovating Tressendor Manor, or maybe they have a place in the woods. I don't know. I dare not go to the far east side of town, if you know what I mean.
I understand. Just to explicitly...
Pretty much nobody lives here goes past the Sleeping Giant anymore.
Excellent. Okay. So just to explicitly understand what we've said here, you've noticed more and more Red Brands, yet they do not come off the Tribor Trail.
No. Well, I mean, I can't speak to that 100%, I spend a lot of my time on the south side of town, and then I go out and running the town master's duties. I usually stay around the middle of town. I don't get out to that. I don't get to see people coming in town exactly.
Excellent. Well, at least it is a topic I can have more conversations at Barthen's.
Yes, for sure.
Excellent. Thank you for your time, and I hand him 10 copper or something. 9 copper, so it's a round number.
Like, what's this for?
For conversation.
Well, thank you kindly, sir.
Seem like a strapping young lad. Duty may call on you one day.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
And then I'll go ahead and proceed back to... Oh, actually, you know what? I'll ask him one last question before he runs off. What is the next... When is the next day that protection money is due, and from what vendor? Merchant in town, do you know?
Honestly, mister, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I don't even think they could tell you. I think they just do it when they need money.
Excellent. No trouble then. Well, there's very much trouble, but it's no worries that you don't know this.
Troubles for them.
Exactly. And then I'll go ahead and go back to the Town Master's Hall.
Okay. As you're walking in, Sildar and Harbin are walking out of Harbin's office.
Perfect.
Brijoul! Wonderful news. The Town Master has agreed to your request.
Excellent. I hope that this does not bring any sort of discomfort to you, as this will be a trial where the townsfolk can make the decision on this vile creature.
Well, yeah. I mean, I have no problem with it. They ain't nothing but trouble, so you do as you please.
Excellent.
Just as long as you don't turn them loose in the town.
No. The only turning him loose will be that of him meeting his maker.
Understood. Well, then, yeah, have at it.
Perfect. And then I want to thank Silver for conversation today and everything, and helping me arrange all of the festivities, I'm going to call them, and point to, signal to speak with the town master in his office alone. If we can converse in your office for a brief moment, I do have some questions and a proposal.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Yeah, come on in. And he walks in his office. You follow him behind, close the door, I assume?
Yep.
Alright. He looks, he adjusts himself in his seat. He looks a little nervous.
Yeah. I do my best to, because I probably can't sit in any chair that's in there, but I will crouch down to look smaller and be less imposing during the conversation.
Alright.
So I want to make myself look as small as possible, then just kind of crunch down just to engage with him on his eye level. Mm-hmm. To see if that relieves his discomfort.
So, what can I do for you, Brijoul?
The red brands.
Yeah? What about them?
Well, it's clear that they are a lawless bunch. I would probably make the comparison of bandits.
Yeah, I mean, it's complicated.
Indeed, so explain. Uncomplicate it for me.
Well, there are a lot of them, a lot less of us. They're all skilled in fighting. I am not. They want money. They get money.
Interesting.
For that service, when somebody shows up here and wants to cause trouble that can fight, they will take care of it. Or that wants a fight, I should say.
Wants a fight with them directly to protect the town, or?
Yeah, to protect the town. Like if the orcs invaded, the Red Brands would take up arms against them.
And you've witnessed them take up arms against,
Well, no, but I mean,
They say that they will.
Correct.
Interesting. So if I was to say, I and my compatriots could provide law and order where the town can prosper away from being fleeced for a more organized and moderate tithe, as opposed to this trying to find the word. These violent actions where it seems they don't know ally from enemy.
He puts his hand on his chin and kind of like rotates his chair a little bit. He's got a really fancy chair for this town. And, you know, they are getting a little, well, way more bold and way more out in the open. I've asked them to keep a low profile around town, and they have disregarded that the last few days. They killed my woodworker. I gotta find somebody else to run the woodworker shop.
And his family is missing.
Yeah. Which, wonder where they went. Considering
Indeed.
they had 4 of them making a pass at her. Huh. I mean, you know, it's I don't know how long it'll be before, you know, it's me on the ground bleeding out because they don't like something that I did or said.
You do sit upon a fancy chair.
Yeah, exactly.
Every man has their own throne.
And they've gotten a little bit more greedy in what they want money-wise, and the squeeze is on, and I don't enjoy it too much.
So, in this particular instance, in this closed book conversation, what is it worth to you? What is it worth to you to maintain your seat, to maintain your town?
Give me 1 second. I gotta think really hard about this.
Sure.
It's the only bad thing. I should have taken notes in everybody's session because I can't remember.
Yeah, that's the only problem with having like individual sessions like that, is it's difficult when you have to go back and reference what you said to someone else, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember it because somebody else had this exact same line of questioning with somebody, but I don't remember if it was Harbin. I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was. Oh. But I don't remember what I told him. Give me a second. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna do a little work thing for a second.
Battered and mostly trying. Odds at you. She probably could pick you up over her head.
Yeah, that is pretty high hands.
Really bad. Elf gentleman?
Give me a couple of days.
He nods at you. You could take over that establishment if you're good at woodworking.
But I'm the one orchestrating this.
I tell you what, if you're able to get your group to really handle this problem, I'd be willing to give you 200 gold. People watched him do it. He just did it out in the open. They were getting very brazen. Wife and killed the woodworker.
Got a problem with them redcoats.
The red left.
Probably back at the end with the other guy.
Did you happen to bring his body back?
Well, I got some bad news. We tried, but we didn't get there in time. Them goblins killed him.
That is unfortunate.
But don't worry, we got some revenge. We killed all of them in there.
That is good to hear. Okay, I got it.
All right.
According to Sildar, he's made arrangements with your compatriot, Cletus. He said that he would work on that problem if they were able to handle it next couple days, that we would pay them 250 gold.
250 gold.
Yes,
Seems
sir.
a bit low, considering the numbers. As I recall, speaking with the townfolk, there could be between 30 to 50 men. And you sit upon a rather fancy chair, so you seem to be quite prosperous.
Roll me a persuasion check. $300 gold is best I can do.
Interesting.
But like I said, we already made arrangements with your friend. He said
Indeed you
250
have.
gold was fine.
I feel that Cletus, yes, a bit slack-jawed in most instances, does not fully grasp the gravity of which this task would involve our physical. And at this point, I stand up and look as big and menacing as possible.
Okay, alright, roll me an intimidation check. Okay, man, look, listen. If you're the one that speaks for your group, and you're willing to help me out with this problem, 500 gold. That's literally the best I can do. I've been fleeced that hard by the red brands. It's literally most of what I have.
Interesting. Then the red brands have their own coffers.
I'm sure they do.
Indeed. And if I was to take these coffers, minus our own fee, and return it to these townfolk to maintain my own law and order here. This includes you, Townmaster. Because all that I do in this closed door conversation is for the will of Bane. At this point, I like am very puffed up because this is where I'm showing my true colors.
Right, the Emperor's coming out a little bit.
Exactly.
So yeah, he's like shrinks back in his chair a little bit. He's yeah, listen, if you take care of them, you and Sildar can get together and set up whatever y'all want to do for law around here. I have no problem with that.
This is not a Sildar conversation.
Well, he's kind of like my constable. I kind of hired him to do that. Like, you know, I know he can't really do much with the red brands around, but if they're gone, then he really could be a true constable.
This is true. But I'm letting you know now that this is a conversation that you and I have had, and I will not be moving into the light. I will stay in my shadows.
Okay.
I will please these people, and they will love me.
Fair enough.
Control is the true power here.
Like you said, there's a bunch of them, and listen, I'll be real impressed if y'all are able to take care of it, but I'm not going to lie to you when I think that y'all are on a fool's errand.
Interesting.
I mean, you are a behemoth of an individual, and I know you're powerful, but there are so many of them. Like, there's only, what, 5 of y'all?
Indeed.
It just seems unlikely y'all are going to succeed.
This may be true. But never doubt true strength, conviction, and order. I will discuss this with my compatriots. We will come to amenable terms with what with what I've proposed and what you offer.
All right, that's yeah, that sounds great.
And then as I leave, I'm just gonna pull the door through the hinges the wrong way.
Oh shit! Roll me a strength check. Say with advantage, right? Because you're an elephant.
Oh yeah. Plus, I count as one size larger for some checks or whatever.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, you are able to bend the door back and like warp the hinges pretty good. It didn't quite come off the frame, but it fucks it up real nice.
Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. Just a showcase of not letting go of my control.
You have a good day, Brijoul. You hear from behind you as you walk out.
Yeah. So at this point, I'm gonna go and start to the Barthen's Provisions, since they seem to be at the front of the town, off the trail.
Okay.
And kind of like in a roundabout way, I'm gonna kind of like wander through the town like this, you know,
Okay.
like to take a look at the sleeping giant, and I want to talk to any possible townsfolk that are there, engage them in conversation, and see if they slightly walk with me a bit, just to kind of daisy chain that I'm not by myself and discussing, so that it seems like I'm doing I'm doing something else, not actually looking at the sleeping giant.
Understood.
Yeah.
So stay pretty far away where they won't notice you, and inconspicuous as possible. You can see that there's at least 4 of them on the front porch. Looks like they're probably drinking and having a grand old time. It's getting later in the evening.
Do I recognize any of them?
No. These look way more well equipped. And,
okay.
You think probably higher ranking as far as red brands go. Their gear looks nicer and newer. Actually, like fully, flossed out like leather armor. They're not young. Beards and such, you can tell from at least the distance you're at.
Okay.
I don't think you would be able to see inside from that far away.
No, probably not. I'm not gonna risk looking inside for the moment.
But yeah, there's definitely, you can assume there's probably more inside if there's ones outside.
It looks to be a pretty big building, right? So it's not quite. It's like one of the bigger houses. It looks like. So it's not quite as big as Stonehill.
Yeah, it's basically it's a bar, right? So you got a big open main room. It might be one of the biggest rooms in the whole town because it's just one big room. And then there's a back room where they store like the liquor and stuff, and then like a fireplace and like chairs and tables and stuff. It's pretty simple. One big room. With a bar.
Okay. Can I see anything up
and
the
there's
hill?
an outhouse behind it.
Okay.
You see the ruined manor up on the hill, yeah. I would say at this point in the day, it's well, you can see pretty far in the dark.
120 feet.
So you can see two boxes. You can see probably half a dozen red brands making their way up the trail. Like not all together.
You said 12?
Half a dozen.
Oh, half a dozen. They're just kind of like
6, just kind of sparsed out, making their way up the trail towards the manor.
Like meandering up. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How, in comparison to the guards outside the sleeping giant, are they similarly equipped?
I don't know if you'd be able to tell that from that distance.
Okay, that's fine. I'll go ahead and continue on to Barthen's, because I want to ask about, basically, just to speed this along a little bit, is to see if they've noticed more red brands coming off the Tribor Trail, and I want to ask any adult, like, villagers, I want to inquire as to how many red brands do they believe there are.
Okay, so, Elmore greets you as he's closing shop because it's time to shut down for the day.
Sure.
And hey, Brijoul, nice to see you again. You were inquiring about Red Brands. They make their they have a few, I don't want to call them scouting parties. They might send out a group of 4 or 6 up the trail every now and again. I wouldn't say every day. Just to kind of scout things out. But beyond that, I wouldn't say they go that way too much.
Interesting.
Unless they have some reason to. You know, on rare occasions they do.
Okay. Do they tend to just patrol through the streets?
Patrol's a strong word.
Maybe meander is the best word.
Meander around lackadaisically and see who they could take advantage of. I think that's the best way to put it. I mean, they're getting a little bit more bold with it as of late.
Interesting.
You hear about
Do I
Phil?
notice? I did indeed. It's a terrible thing.
Yeah.
I pray to Bane that his family is returned safely.
He definitely notices you say Bane, and you know he's like, okay, well, guy seems all right.
And that's the exact air that I'm looking for. At this point, are any Red Brands trailing me now that I've kind of like wandered around the town a bit?
Roll me a perception check.
Sure.
You don't see any Red Brands around, but you can't shake the feeling you're being watched.
Excellent. Okay, I'm gonna I ask if I assume that the food for the festivities are gonna come from the provisions store, right? Most of it.
Yeah. Are they in? Yeah.
At the inn or the yeah. So
Probably between the two, honestly, because the provisions will provide the goods and the inn would cook them.
yep. So yeah, at this point I'm gonna ask, and since that I feel that I'm being watched, I'm gonna pull out a coin purse. To showcase. Actually, I'm gonna pull out. I'm just trying to see what all I have in my inventory to like make this happen. Yeah, no, I'll just end up pulling out my coin purse and kind of make a show of how the heft of it in my hand, and inquire as to hopefully the provisions that were provided for this evening's event. You were well compensated for. The Isildur said that he would handle these things, and that I would take part in the expense.
Yeah, definitely. I can open back up and send them some stuff to get something made up.
So okay, so maybe so Isildur has not already come by for provisions.
No, sir.
Interesting. It's quite interesting. I'm actually gonna reach, since I have both my hands into the coin purse, and kind of like take out some gold coins and just kind of flip them around, and then like dribble them back into the bag.
Okay. All right.
We're setting the trap. Oh no, there's no need to stop to reopen your shop. It is fine. I will see. I will check with the Stonehill Inn to see if the provisions were sought there.
You sure? I mean, I don't mind.
Oh, no worries. If I tell you what, I will compensate you handsomely if we have to seek you out for additional provisions, and we can discuss it then. How about that?
Okay, it sounds good. Yeah, you can just come knock on my door if you need me, and he lets you know that this is his house.
Ah, excellent. Maybe we will partake of some tea one evening.
Wonderful. Yeah, absolutely. You're welcome anytime.
Okay, and then I'll bid him adieu, and then kind of make my way to the Stonehill Inn because I want to see where the provisions for the evening are coming from.
Okay,
At this point, I do want to make more attempts at any point, if I can get a glimpse of whoever's watching me, that's when I'm gonna try to set up a little bit of put myself in a vulnerable situation so that they make their move for my coin.
Yeah. So as you're making your way to the inn, you definitely are aware of I don't know. How much more stuff did you want to do in town?
In town, this this was probably my last thing. Is if this works out, was trying to capture a red brand.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I didn't want to cut you off from being able to do something that you wanted to do.
No. So basically, now, okay. So the couple of questions I have right now is one: Sildar didn't actually go to the provision shop, even for the events this evening, even though it was,
I honestly, he probably would have made it by then. I
Yeah.
just wasn't thinking about how long time would have been between you making your way there, but he definitely would have beat you there.
Okay, and that's fine. Yeah, sure. So I just wasn't making sure like that, like I had like multiple ongoing investigations at this point, right?
Yeah.
So ultimately, the last thing I want to do in this session is the possibility of baiting a reasonable number of red brands into attempting to fleece me, and at which point I'm going to capture red brands.
Well, the day has passed rather quickly, and you notice the sun has set and the evening is upon you. It has also started to rain, and you turn your thoughts to a warm, dry bed waiting for you at the inn. As you're making your way back to the inn, on a street almost completely devoid of the usual bustle from the inclement weather, 4 hooded figures approach you. 2 from in front and 2 from behind.
Interesting.
1 second. The figures facing you are 2 in front of you to these 2 guys.
Okay.
He looks at you and from under his cloak, and you notice he's very, very young, and he's also like literally not wearing any armor. He's holding a short sword. And he says, "Come with us quietly, or there'll be trouble."
Ah, youngling.
I guess it sounds more
Trouble.
like, "Come with us quietly, or there'll be trouble."
So I look around and try to take note of their faces and see if I recognize any of them.
I would say that the one on the right here would definitely look like one of the guys that was watching you earlier. Not the one that you scared off, but one of the other ones.
Ah.
The 2 behind you, they look a little bit older. Not too much older. Maybe early 20s, maybe not. And they tell the oldest looking one yells across the younger guys, "Make this quick, get this done, and let's get out this rain."
So you're leading this.
Yeah,
Turn my
this
attention
guy
to
right
to that guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the one that said that.
And what is he wearing? What are the? Well, first of all, I'll just take note of like what are they? Besides, this kid has no armor, just a short sword. These two seem to be like the older ones, and this guy's the leader. So is the leader pretty well, not well, but better armored?
Yeah, he's actually got leather armor on.
So where is it you think that I will be going?
Well, there's some people that want to talk to you.
I assume these are Red Brand people?
Yeah, I imagine they'll be talking on the behest of someone else. We've just been told to bring you in.
Told by who? Whom commands you?
Glassstaff told us to bring you in.
Glassstaff. Gladstaff?
Glass.
Glassstaff.
Yep.
That's an interesting name. Is this a name or is this a title?
That's just what everybody calls them. And I don't see why it's any concern to you.
It's merely a question of knowing who tries to command me.
I'm just letting you know that you're coming with us one way or another.
So now we are in the realm of threats.
Yeah, that's right. It's a threat.
It is a threat, indeed. Do you have the steel boy?
And he just yells, "Get 'em, boys!" And the two other ones make advances on you.
Sure.
He isn't moving towards you at all, actually. He seems pretty inclined to let them fight for him.
Interesting. Okay. At this point,
Listen, man, we don't have to do this. You could just come. Just put your weapons down. Come with us. You'll be fine.
give me 1 second. I'm reading something.
No, you're good.
Because we're not in combat, right? They're just approaching me at this point?
Yeah, no, you're not in combat yet, but you're going to be in combat very shortly. And the two guys approaching you, they don't look thrilled to be doing this.
Would you say they look afraid?
Oh, they're scared shitless. I mean, you're like twice their size. But they've been ordered to do it, and the Red Brands take care of them, so they want to be part of them. And this is what they got to do.
Question, young humans. What kind of coin is it that the Red Brands pay you?
Well,
I'm sure you've seen my coin.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we have. And you come along peacefully, maybe we'll let you keep it.
Ah, excellent. But again, I ask, how much is it you make fleecing this town? I'm sure as lowly underlings, you hardly make a living.
I mean, they feed us and put a roof over our head for now, and as long as we start earning our keep, and then we can, excuse me. A little gas there. As long as we show them what we can earn our keep, they'll start paying us.
Ah, so you haven't been paid at all.
No, not yet.
What if I offer you coin here and now?
Are you gonna keep a roof over our head? No, no, I can't do that, man. You don't understand. We got to do this.
You don't have to do anything you don't want. Bane. Bane is strength, and Bane can strengthen your convictions of will. See, the coin that I have is from Bane. You see, the hobgoblins are dead. From Bane.
How much coin you talking about, mister?
That all depends. How much do you like ones that command you? That diminish your strength with such risks that you would come and attempt to take me?
I'm here from behind you. Are y'all just gonna talk to this man? Or you bring him, or this elephant? You just gonna bring him in? Come on, quit fucking around. You know what's gonna happen if y'all don't do this.
You see how he talks down to you, young man? That's not strength.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Sure.
Or would it be intimidation? I'm not sure. Persuasion, I think.
Whichever you'd like. I think my persuasion check's better anyways.
Okay. I think enough money to get me out of here and get me on my feet would be good. Maybe 50 gold.
50 gold is a steep price. You feel that your life is worth 50 gold?
If you want me to turn my back on my family, yeah.
Family. So the Red Brands are your family. Are you an orphan then?
I am.
So I would say that your life is worth less than 50 gold, especially considering you have not been paid at all, young man.
Well, what's your life worth? Because we're about to take it.
My life is worth everything.
I mean, technically, they're not about to take nothing because they got to bring you in alive. But he's talking out of pocket.
How about this? Your life is worth to you 50 gold so that you can leave your family. So they're clearly not as important to you as you would insist that they are family. I will give you 5 gold. 5 gold to stand here and watch the convictions of ones that would command you diminish in the face of true strength of Bane.
Okay.
No harm will become of you. You will stand here and you will witness this. I will crush these two. And you, and these are both younger guys, right, that I'm addressing?
Yep.
You two can be the first to help maintain some true law and order. Some true strength.
Yeah, they seem pretty willing to let you see what you can do against the guys that have been yelling at them to do their job for them.
Interesting. So are you ready to bear witness?
I mean, sure. Show away. Let's see what you can do.
Excellent. I tell them to step back a bit, put their swords on the ground, and then I immediately turn around.
All right.
And I'll channel divinity on all 4 of them. So, no. Hold on. Hold on. Let me think this through 1 second.
Yeah, sure. Do tell.
Okay, okay. Here we go. So this is all going to happen pretty quickly, right?
Yeah, I'd say you got time to do one thing for combat.
Yep. So basically what I'm wanting to do is I'm going to turn on these guys as these
Did you stop talking or I'll lose you?
No, I'm here. I'm trying to think of like how things are going to progress here. So what I've done, does it look like they're putting their weapons down?
They've sheathed them. They didn't put them on the ground.
Okay, that's fine. Then I'll immediately turn, and since I was talking directly to one of them, I'll immediately turn and cast Bane.
Okay.
As my like last action before actual combat.
Okay. Dude, look at them fails. 12-12.
That's it, dude. And then my Bane spell, as it's going off, I'll ask them about their convictions and if they still want to move forward with this.
The older guy goes, "You worthless young motherfuckers, we'll kill you after we capture this sumbitch." Roll initiative. Yeah, he's just watching. You're up.
We'll channel divinity on all four of them.
Okay. Oh, I forgot to make that where that worked automatically. I'm stupid.
What happened?
I was gonna make that to where it worked automatically.
Oh. It's all good. Oh, I don't have my... Oh, here, I can fix this.
Well, at least I don't have to figure out which one's a charm.
Sure.
Fuck,
Well,
I don't even need to mark them, honestly. They're just charm for a turn, right?
Yeah. So basically, I'm gonna tell the two young ones to tie up the older ones. Well, actually, the older ones are gonna go, right?
Yeah, they're gonna go next. I would say they're definitely not friendly at this point,
Yeah.
but that doing it the other way doesn't really help you.
Yeah.
You could. Well, never mind. That's all you.
Yeah. I'm trying to think right now. First, I'm gonna command them all to drop their weapons.
Okay.
With the order divinity.
Okay. Weapons playing on the ground. Clink, 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 clink.
Oh yeah, their turns will come back around. Okay. Alright, because they're charmed until the end of my next turn. Okay.
Yep.
I'll command the two younger ones on when their turn comes up. To tie up the bottom one, this guy.
Okay.
and then I will tie up this one.
Okay. All right. I assume that's it, huh?
That's it.
Pass the turn for me.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. Okay, so he's just gonna stand there in a lull. You wanted both of them to time up, or just one?
I just assume, since they're both kids, I wanted them to both ensure that he was tied up well.
Understood. Understood.
I figured two of them would have a better success chance of tying them up successfully.
Well, I mean, they're kind of just standing there in a daze. I don't even think you need to roll a check on that, right? They're not even gonna fight it.
Yeah, I'm not doing anything harmful. They're just sitting there. They're not taking damage.
So yeah, they're both restrained, and your turn again.
Okay. At this point, I'll go here and I'll restrain this one myself.
Okay.
I'll double check the restraints on this guy too. Like make sure those three are all nice and tightly restrained.
Yeah, I mean they just stood there and let you get it as tight as you want without suffocating them.
Well. And then I'll release this kid from the channel divinity.
Okay.
And just look at him and be like, and the combat is done. Come, child, come to me. I'll wave him over. So, what are your opinions of Bane? Where do your convictions lie?
He's a little confused because he didn't understand why he tied up the other guy. What did you do?
I did nothing. Our powers come from Bane. Bane did everything.
He's a little flabbergasted, taken aback.
I ask you this.
Tied up.
As you and I were the main ones conversing in this conversation, for precaution, he is restrained, but no harm will come to him. I question you now, boy. This older gentleman here that would give you commands, who would strive to manipulate the weak. Has he ever harmed you? Does he mock you? Does he belittle you for being younger?
Well, they're all hard on the recruits. That's just the way of things.
But your convictions are strong. You do their bidding. Hazing is for the hazing and mockery are for those that would not uphold true convictions. If I told you now, you can take this man's life and all the gold and possessions that he has, and I would pay you for it, would you do it? I would tell no one. This would be between you and I, and you could follow me.
He looks at the other two guys tied up, and I fear I would not make it out of this town alive if I did such a thing.
But who would know? It is us.
But he just looks at the other two guys tied up. They would know.
But would they be living? They are in no positions to negotiate at this point, boy.
I guess it's a fair point.
How about this? You can take all of his possessions and the gold that I offer you, and you can leave this town if you would like, and start anew.
He thinks about it for a second, and just pulls his sword out and darts over and stabs the dude in the neck.
These are the true convictions. Watch the life leave this man's body. He would command you, but you have clearly shown that you are strong, that you will maintain order here. I ask you, boy, do you like this town? Do you like these people? Do you wish to not really give them harm, but to protect them and maintain strength and order?
Yeah, but none of these guys can live, and he fucking darts over to the other guy and stabs him in the neck, too.
Excellent.
And then turns and slices the third dude's head clean off his shoulders.
Now, let me ask you this, boy. You've created quite the mess here. What shall we do with these bodies? Shall I give you the gift of Bane and tell you?
We should get rid of them so I don't get caught.
Ah. Self-preservation. It's always a good trait. But again, you've not answered these questions. I care not for these humans that you've murdered here.
Yeah, please show me.
We will take these bodies. And then we'll package up the bodies and take them to the west side of town.
Roll me a perception check.
Sure.
So you notice in the little house to the north of you, like a whole family in the window watching this whole thing go on, like in horror. Like how you've convinced this one red brand to kill the other three, and you tying them up and everything. And they're just like standing there kind of like slack-jawed in amazement.
Do I recognize any of them that we're seeing?
No, it's just some commoners, normal poor town folk. They live in a very small house. And the second they catch your gaze, they like duck below the window, like hoping you didn't see them.
Okay. Well, this guy's looting. I assume he's looting.
Yeah, and you see them slowly like pop their heads up above the windowsill, just buried with the eyes,
Sure. I'll just kind of wander over to their house.
He found 17 gold.
Good for him. I'll wander over to their house.
Okay.
Just so. And slightly rap on it.
Yeah, I guess I can do this now.
Which house is it? This one? One of these?
This one right here.
I'll just rap on the house a little bit.
Like older man kind of cracks the door open. Can I help you?
Was he one of the ones watching?
Yep.
Hello, good townsfolk. I am fully aware, and I apologize profusely for what you have had to witness in your noble streets.
Kidding me, man? It was awesome. You got that red brand to kill the other 3 red brands. Did it just stood there while you tied him up? How the fuck? Hey, this is amazing. Shh. We're sorry we acted like that. It just, we weren't sure you were friendly. You might try to just kill everybody. I don't know what's going on.
No. I was able to do these things through the blessings of Bane. The strength and order and conviction to truly bring the law about this town. Phandalin is full of good people, strong people, and they can prosper.
I didn't realize followers of Bane had this kind of power.
It's true. We do.
That's amazing.
And this is the gift. But please, to avoid any unnecessary violence that could befall your family here, take these 10 gold. And speak not of this evening, for it is filled with violence.
I mean, it's like more money than he's seen all month. He's like, Thank you so much, sir. You don't have to. That's amazing.
No, it is the will of Bane.
Thank you so much. Oh, praise be to Bane.
Indeed, praise be to Bane. Please, rest your family this evening and lock your doors tight.
Thank you. And he shuts the door, and you hear the lock engage.
And then I'll assist this kid on
Yeah, he's still like taking the gear off and like packing it all up.
So, boy, what is your decision?
Listen, I guess whatever you need me for, I'm here.
Excellent.
My name is Norman.
Well met, Norman. How strong are you, Norman? How strong do you feel that you will grow as a man?
You know, I think people you around, I can grow real strong.
Yes, but do you understand that those that are beneath you are protected to do your bidding?
I mean, that's basically what they were trying to do to me, so yeah.
Indeed, but they did it all wrong. You see their weakness.
Yeah? I sure do. And he looks around at their dead bodies on the ground. Yeah. Not strong at all.
Indeed. You see how lawless they would keep these streets. You must maintain order. Because without order, you will not have true strength. And you will not have true riches. These are just mere bandits. Bandits in sheep's clothing. Wolf clothing, sorry.
Yes, sir.
Come. Let us do the rituals of Bane. The smell of victory will be upon thee.
He just looks a little confused, but soon he will learn.
Yep. And then we'll go out to the west to burn the bodies. And then I will begin to chant the incantations of Bane to him. And express the stories and regale him of the tales of Cragmaw Castle.
Yeah, he's starting to feel like maybe Red Brands really shouldn't have fucked with you.
Indeed. And so now, I want to glean the information on how many Red Brands does he think there are?
Well, he's just a recruit, so he's never actually even been to their headquarters. So he really doesn't know, but he'd venture to guess, you know, probably like, I don't know, 30 to 100.
The wide margin, son.
Well, I was pretty new to the, you know, like literally I'm a recruit. Like I've only been to the Sleeping Giant, and it's always hustling and bustling full of them. So there's got to be at least 20 or 30 minimal.
So how many? How did you come to this town and come by the Red Brands?
Well, actually, I was passing through. I was on my way to Neverwinter to see if I could find work there, and was just begging for some coin on the street, and they approached me and said, "You want to never have to beg for money again?" And I was like, "Yeah, hell yeah!" And I mean, that's how I found myself here. And that was literally 3 days ago.
I see.
And they fed me and gave me a roof over my head for the last 3 days. They seemed okay, but then they're like, "You guys need to go out here and bring in this giant pachyderm to be questioned." They're not giving us any reason why or what for or what you've done.
Very interesting. I suspect that I have brought about too much attention to myself.
Yeah, I would agree with that. You know, it wasn't just you. They sent out parties of recruits and lower ranking people against your whole entire party.
Ah, yes, my compatriots. They too love the smell of victory. I see, Norman. So, let me ask you this. What is it that you desire in life?
I just want to have my own little piece of land and enough money to get by, sir. I don't want nothing crazy.
Interesting. Do you think you can come about this in Phandalin?
I mean, it's just as good a place as any.
Indeed it is. A lot of people here. And it seems that they have made short work of the woodworker here. It's possibly an opportunity, yes?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Would you know the whereabouts of his family?
They. I think they took him up the hill to the manor.
The manor.
I saw, some young kids and a woman being escorted up there 2 nights ago. And I thought that was weird. There's some kids.
Indeed,
Then
you're but a child.
I heard about the woodworker and then, put two and two together. And it must be his wife and kids. And I know that Glassstaff wasn't too happy. They were making passes at townfolk and ended up killing the woodworker of the town. He wasn't too happy, but it didn't seem like he was going to punish the people who did it either, so.
Interesting, Norman. Is this not how orphans are created? These particular events?
Yeah, I suppose you're right.
And what would you do, Norman? Say you had the strength.
I mean, if I had the strength, I would try to help, maybe get them back, but I don't. Can't stand against all these people. I'm just one boy. You kidding me?
True. But as you've answered, you have conviction. You understand what law and order is. And it's clear that killing is always an option when needing to maintain self-preservation.
Yeah, I had to do so tonight.
Would you say you hate what they do?
Well, I'll say that I didn't understand what I was getting myself into.
But now knowing that they would orphan more children like yourself, do you hate that?
Yeah, that's not cool.
Indeed. Well, Norman, I bid you this. I've told you I would give you 5 gold. I'm going to give you 10 gold. Plus whatever you found on their bodies. And you have an option. That will leave you with 27 gold, plus the items that I'm sure that you can sell. You can continue your way to Neverwinter, or you can maintain a presence here, but you will have to lay low, stay in the inn, and stay away from prying red brand eyes until this mess is cleaned up. And then you can make a life here if you would like.
Maybe I can, maybe I can leave town for a week or two and come back.
Indeed.
If y'all really think y'all can take care of all these guys, I mean, that seems insane to me.
Do you doubt me now, even after what you've seen?
I mean, there's just, I ain't gonna say you can't do it. You're obviously capable of some really incredible things. But yeah, there are a lot of them. Just be warned, Like, there are quite
Indeed.
a few of them.
There were a lot of hobgoblins as well. Well, Norman, I leave you at this. Make your decision. But, I'm going to get down real close to him. Let the fire bounce across. Oh, I want to make sure that where we're burning these bodies is well into, like, the dark wooded area.
Okay. All right.
On
so
top
you're going,
of...
like, you're pulling them outside of town.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll me a perception check as you're, like, walking, like, towards the outskirts of town. You notice a smoldering pile behind, like, the last row of houses going out of town.
Do I recognize the smell?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it smells like
It's-
cooked meat.
I make the offhanded comment that's the smell of victory.
I wonder what happened there.
'Tis no business of mine. So yeah, so basically at this point I'm gonna pose him. He has the choices of he can do as he wishes, leave for a few days and come back. He can stay here and lay low with what he has now. But again, to look down menacingly at him, should I find him back in the Red Brand side, he will meet a fate worse than those that have been judged weak in the eyes of Bane this evening. And then
Well, I guess I got enough money. If you really think you can do this, I'll get the room in the inn and just stay in there for a couple days.
It's your choice. You're a man now, Norman. You make your choices. And then at this point, I'll thaumaturgy the fire out,
Okay.
and then make sure we have no torches. And since I have dark vision, walk off into the black
Okay. All right.
and leave him there to ponder his fucking choices.
Perfect. Old Norman. In the woods, in the darkness. Alright, so, I guess, as you make your way back to the inn and open the door, that is where we will call the session.
Sweet.
Good shit, dude. Very nice.
Yeah, buddy.
That was awesome.